So you can start today lying on your back. Do you have something like a block with you today? We are going to be using a block for the practice. So you could use a nice heavy book or anything that you can kind of substitute for a block if you don't have a yoga block. And just have that somewhere near the front of your mat ready for our practice today. So we're going to lie down and just feel the back of your body on the ground. And it can be nice to start by taking the knees together and the feet wide, and just perhaps letting your hands rest onto your body or down onto the ground beside you. And allow your feet, your sacrum, your spine, the back of your head to really feel supported on the mat. And you can take perhaps a nice long breath in and long breath out to really allow the tissues to soften a little bit more and relax down into the earth. You might even feel like kind of pressing your lower back down into the ground and then releasing a couple of times, just kind of tilting the pelvis really slowly and gently, just a couple of times to kind of really ease your spine down into the ground. And then relax that, just let your body soften. Taking this opportunity here as you really feel the earth underneath you supporting you, to honour and acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country that we practice on. I'm sharing this class from the unceded lands of the Dudaroa, the Tangarong, Waiwuru, Yaitmatang. And so I honour their elders past and present and those leaders emerging. You might like to do the same in your own practice, in your own space for where you are. Honouring your connection to the earth. And then starting to bring your focus a little more into your own body, into your breath and your body, the tissues of your body. And perhaps during this practice, really using the intention of this practice to bring you down out of the thinking, processing mind and into the feeling, sensing body, a real sense of grounding. You might breathe in and breathe out and imagine that energy, that awareness traveling down into the very base of your body where you're in contact with the ground. A couple of breaths like that. And setting yourself your intention for your practice. And the next breath in, you can scoop your knees in towards you. So just draw them in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your knees, perhaps a little sway from side to side, a little rock and roll over your lower back. Giving that space a massage on the ground. And then as you're ready to, you can gently roll yourself over to one side and come up to find a child. So bring yourself over onto your knees and bring yourself down to child's, taking the knees wide, the big toes to touch. You might slide the hands forwards. If your knees are sensitive, keep the hips more lifted, or you can bring your hips all the way back towards your heels, allowing your head to rest down onto the ground. It's kind of lengthening all the way from your tailbone to your fingertips. And you might start to find the Ujjayi breath here, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, a little constriction at your throat. And from here, you can start to walk your hands over towards the left side, keeping the head close down towards the ground, your right hand stretching over your right hip, drawing back. And then gently walking your hands back to center, and then walking the hands over towards the right side and sliding the left hip back. Breathing into that left side body. And then slowly coming back to center. And as you inhale, press into your hands and bring yourself forwards to find all fours and slide the hands underneath your shoulders. And then from there, we're going to press back to downward facing dog, so tucking the toes, and then send your hips back, stretching out along the spine. Perhaps a little bit of a movement in this first down dog, bending one knee, drawing the opposite heel to the floor, just finding some length through the backs of your legs. And then from there, you can bend your knees, look forwards towards your hands, step your feet all the way to the front of the mat. Take a halfway lift here. And then as you exhale, find your forward fold. One more like that. Inhaling to lift the chest. Exhaling to forward fold. And then slowly from there, rolling yourself all the way up to stand, and sweep your hands up and over your head, stretch up tall. And from here, you might even interlace your fingers and interlace the thumbs and stretch the fingers out so that you're really lifting up through the whole line of your body. And then from there, you can let your hands come down towards your heart. Let the hands rest down beside you. Come into your mountain, your Tadasana. So feet underneath the hips, hands just resting down beside the body. And we're just going to close the eyes and find, as long as you feel balanced too, just find a little bit of shifting of the weight forwards and back here. So you can just gently press into your heels to shift yourself forwards towards your toes, and then shifting as you press kind of your toes down and shift yourself forwards towards your heels. And it's not a big movement, it's like a subtle movement. It's almost like a rolling across the whole length of your feet. So if you can feel the tissues of the feet pressing down into the ground, and keep the knees soft and the core engaged. And then find the point in which you feel that you're balanced across the center of your feet. And then from here, roll from the inside edges to the outside edges of your feet, and do that a few times. So just feeling your feet on the ground. And then again, just finding that center point, lifting the toes and spreading them down. And then shifting your weight a little towards the right side and the left side just a couple of times, so that you're shifting from foot to foot with the weight, and then finding that weight balanced across both feet. And draw the lower ribs down, the tailbone's heavy, the spine lengthening, top of the head lifting to the sky. And let's start to move through some Sun Salute, Surya Namaskar from here. So you can move towards the front of your mat if you're not already. Find that mountain shape. And then as you inhale, sweep your hands up towards the sky. And as you exhale, soften your knees, roll down. Bring your hands towards the floor, or you can bring hands to a block if you prefer, lift the chest. And then we're going to pick up the left foot and step that left foot back on your mat. So find yourself in a lunge and drop the left knee down to the ground, press into your feet and lift yourself up into Anjaneyasana. So you can lift the hands up if you like. And then coming into a side bend here, you're going to hold on to your left wrist and take a side bend over. So taking your, holding onto your left wrist and taking your side bend over to the side. And then bringing yourself back to center. And then taking your hands down to frame your front foot and stretching back so that you extend along the right leg. And bring yourself forwards, find your lunge again. And then step yourself back, find your kneeling plank. So shift forwards, lower yourself down all the way onto your belly, and then take a moment to anchor down through the tops of your feet and your big toes and your pubic bone, and then lift your chest up and see if you can lift up without the hands. So lifting the hands off the mat, unsupported cobra. Breathe in here, anchoring the pubic bone down. And then exhaling, lowering back down to the ground again. Let's press all the way up and back. And you can shift back into child's again, sinking the hips back to the heels. Inhale there. Come up, find all fours. And then exhale, extend your right leg back behind you. Turn the toes towards the floor, drawing lowest ribs in. If you can hold it here, really engaging through the glute and the hamstring, you might take your left hand forwards, extending in the opposite arm to leg. Keep the neck nice and long, keep breathing. And then option from here, bend your right knee and then 3 little pulses with your heel and the sole of your foot up towards the sky. Then from there, left hand down, step the right foot forwards between the hands, and then tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee. And using that strength in the right glute, you're going to start to shift your weight into that right foot and lift the back leg off the ground. And then step your left foot to join your right foot, come down into forward fold. And let's take a breath in here, halfway lift. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, roll yourself all the way to stand, sweep the hands high, and exhaling, hands to the heart. And let's do second side, inhale, reach up. Exhaling, rolling down. Lift your chest as you inhale. And then stepping the right foot back. Drop the right knee down, sweep your hands into your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Holding onto the right wrist or left elbow down, right hand up and over. Taking a little side bend, a little tugging on that right arm, and you're grounding down through the right shin. Bring yourself back to center, both hands to the ground, and then shifting back to stretch along the back of your left leg. Come forwards, rock forwards into your lunge again, step your way back into kneeling plank, lower yourself all the way down. And then again, anchoring through the feet and the legs, nice and strong, zip the inner thighs towards each other, lifting your chest, maybe pressing a little into the hands this time to come up into cobra. Breathe in here. Pubic bone's still nice and heavy, and then lowering back down again. Let's press all the way up and back, find your way back into child's. And then inhale forwards into all fours. And find your stability there as you exhale, left leg back behind you, turning the toes down towards the ground, heel pressing away from you. From there, maybe the right hand extends forwards, lowest ribs drawn in. Breathe in here. And breathing out, bending the left knee, and then 3 little pulses with that left foot up towards the sky. And then right hand down, bringing the left knee towards the chest, and then stepping your foot through between your hands. Now tuck that back toe under, lift the back knee, walk the hands forwards and lift that back leg off the ground. Stepping your right foot to join your left foot, coming down into forward fold. From there, let's roll all the way up to stand, sweeping the hands high, reach up. And then hands to the heart. Take a breath in, letting the hands rest down beside you as you breathe out. And let's inhale again, sweep up, reach up. Rolling down, forward fold. Halfway lift. I'm going to step the left foot back, come to your runner's lunge, and then back knee down again, bring the hands to the heart. This time we're going to come into a twist, so hooking the left elbow to the outside of your right thigh and pressing the hands in towards each other as you twist. And you can keep the back toes tucked under, or you can have the top of the foot flat. If the toes are tucked under, you might like to lift the back knee up and find your unsupported lunge here, making sure you're nice and strong through the legs, right hips drawing back. One more breath here. And then bring yourself back to center. You can either be in low lunge or high lunge this time, hands to the sky. And then take your hands down to the ground. And again, it could be low lunge again, or coming back into a pyramid, straightening your right leg. Draw that right hip back as you fold forwards. From there, shift forwards, lunge, and then step back plank. So you could be on your toes this time. Finding your plank and holding here for a couple of breaths. Nice long line along the length of your body. Big breath in. And then lowering yourself all the way down, knees down, chest down to the ground. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet, pubic bone, lift the chest, cobra. Maybe your tops of your feet press down and you lift the hips now. And then press back all the way, downward facing dog. Let's take right leg to the sky from here in downward facing dog, and you're welcome to take the other version we did in all fours. I'm going to draw that heel to the buttock, and then 3 little pulses, pressing your sole of your foot up towards the sky. Let's from there lift that knee, open the hip, and then square the hips and the foot through between the hands. So we're going to shift forwards again, and coming to step that, lift that left foot off the mat, but this time if you can, spread your right foot, engage through the glute, bring the hands to the heart, and then start to shift your weight forwards, coming to balance on that right leg. Take a breath in here, and out. And then as you inhale, see if you can stand all the way up, balancing on one leg, lifting the left knee. And then placing both feet down, hands down beside your body. If you feel like you need to, just give the legs a little bit of a shake, shoulders a little bit of a shake. And then inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Right foot steps to the back of the mat. Coming down onto that right knee, bring your hands to your heart. And we'll twist. Take your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, finding your twisted lunge. And perhaps the back toes are tucked under. Perhaps you lift that back knee off the ground, strengthening here through the legs. Keep breathing. And then from there you can bring yourself back up to find your lunge, either low lunge or high lunge. And then hands down to the ground to find perhaps your half Hanuman here or your pyramid, folding forwards over that front leg, left hip drawing back. And then let's shift forwards and step all the way back to find plank palakasana. Breathe in here, shifting forwards, maybe you lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to come forwards into an up dog or a cobra, and then pressing all the way back to find your downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, 3 little pulses with your left heel pressing up towards the sky, and then open that left knee up and square the hips, step the left foot forwards. Taking the weight a little into that left foot, shifting the weight slightly forwards, and bring the hands to the heart if you can, and then start to lift your back leg off the ground, balancing in your warrior 3. From there, anchor down through that foot. See if you can lift the knee without tapping the floor. And then from there, foot down, hands down beside you. Take a breath in, lift the shoulders towards the ears as you exhale, roll them back and down. Let's come down into Utkatasana, sinking your hips down and back and sweeping your hands up. So find your chair, drawing up through those inner seams of the legs. Breathe in. Press down through the mound of your big toe. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And step both feet back and find plank. And shift forwards. You can come down through chaturanga here, or you can hold here. And then shift back and find downward facing dog. Let's take the right leg and lift it to the sky as you inhale. And then bring that knee towards the chest and step the foot through between the hands, as many steps as you need. Left heel grounds on the floor. We come up warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And really feel yourself growing from the ground up. So feet, legs, tailbone heavy, spine lengthening, hands reaching up. Breathe in here. Press the floor away with the feet. Breathe out, bend that right knee over the ankle. One more inhale. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, find plank. Either pressing straight back to down dog or lowering down through chaturanga, all the way to the floor or halfway. Lifting up into your upward facing dog. and pressing back to find your downward facing dog. Take your left leg to the sky. Bring that left knee towards your chest and then step the foot through between the hands, anchor down through the back foot, and then as you inhale, grow from the ground up, so pressing up from the earth, sweeping the hands to the sky, and then really settling through your feet. You want to try and draw that right hip forwards, left knee stacked over the ankle. Inhale and exhale, really grounding through those feet. Big breath in. And then both hands down to the mat. You can step back through your chaturanga here, lifting up to your back bend, pressing back to find your downward facing dog or child if you like. And then let's from here bend the knees, look to the hands, step or float your feet to the front of the mat, find your halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Sink your hips deep, sweep your hands up, chair. And then standing all the way up, hands to the heart. So we're going to do one more round of Surya Namaskar. It might be a little quicker. You're welcome to stay with your own pace, just to kind of really get some cold out of the bones. So sink your hips down, sweep your hands up. As you exhale, forward fold. Find that lift through your chest, Ardha Uttanasana. And then stepping back through chaturanga. So exhale takes you all the way down or halfway. Inhale lifts into your back bend. Exhale presses back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step your right foot through, anchor the left and press up, Virabhadrasana 1. On the exhale, hands down to the mat, step back, chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot through, right heel grounds, inhale all the way up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here in downward facing dog, really feeling the hands and the feet on the earth. Feeling the spine lengthening out of that space. You're welcome to bring the knees down as you need to. Let's from here bend the knees, look forwards, and then step your feet to the front, halfway lift. And forward fold. We're going to sink the hips deep. Come to chair, sweeping the hands up. And then standing up, hands to the heart. Samastiti. Ready shape. Let the hands rest down beside you. Take a breath. We'll do 5 more rounds just like that. No, we won't really. We don't have time. So, hopefully you can feel a little bit of energy moving through the body. We're going to focus a little more on balance here. So, taking the weight into your right foot, so spreading the right foot, bring your hands to your heart, and really grounding through that leg. So draw the energy up that leg so that you're not kind of collapsing into that hip. We really want to lift up and then float your left leg off the ground, hovering there. You might find something to focus on in front of you, either straight in front or just towards the ground. And then from there, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you can start to take the leg back behind you. So finding your warrior 3. And you might be tapping the toe on the floor, that's fine. Keep the lower back lengthening. And then we're going to keep moving dynamically a couple more times. So as you inhale, you can lift up, can stay here, or you could take the hands up, lengthening the fingertips towards the sky. As you exhale, hands down, either the heart or down beside the body. And then one more time, coming to float up. This time, perhaps you take your foot out in front of you, straightening the leg. And then you can kind of pivot forwards, maybe the hands also stay out in front as you find warrior 3. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, step back, find your high lunge. Keep that right knee stacked over the ankle, sweep the hands up if you can. And then let's open out warrior 2. So the right knee stays where it is as you open the arms and open the hips. Right palm to the sky, let's take reverse warrior, stretch back. And then from there, come back through your warrior two and really focusing on those feet nice and grounded, straight in your right leg. And you can start to tilt from your hips, and you might find a block. Take your hand down towards a block somehow, or letting the hand rest onto your leg. You can take the block on the outside edge of your foot if you like for Trikonasana. The left hand can extend up in the opposite direction. Really focus on pressing the floor away with your feet. So there's this really nice solid foundation through the legs. The big toe mound of the right foot is pressing down, as well as the outside edge. The outside edge of your left foot is pressing down as well as the inside edge. Lengthen along your spine. Another breath. Let's from there, just release your left hand down to your hip and look down towards your right foot and then bend your right knee. And we're going to come into a half moon Ardha Chandrasana from here. It's a lot on the right side, but bear with me. You can take your block in front of you if you like, taking it in front of that foot slightly to the right, and then lifting your left leg off the ground. Extend that left heel away from you, really press the floor away with your right foot. Perhaps the left hand also extends up towards the sky. Keep breathing. See if you can balance here. And if you want to play with your balance a little bit more, nice and grounded through that standing leg, see if you can also float your right hand off the block or the floor, bring it to the heart. Breathe in. Slowly step all the way back, find warrior two. Reverse warrior, stretch back. And then let's take the hands down to the ground. So you can just take them on the inside of your right foot. And maybe drop the back knee down to the earth. Take a little bit of a lizard stretch here. The right knee kind of pressing out to the side a little bit. Stretching through that inner thigh and hip. And then from there you can step back and come through a chaturanga here, or you might just press straight back into child. So just finding what works for you. Maybe there's like a wide arm cobra that feels good. Lowering down. And then pressing all the way back to find your child's. Breathing in and breathing out here. Let's come up, find all fours. Compress back to downward facing dog if you like. And then step the feet towards the front of the mat. Find your halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Sink your hips deep. Come to chair. Standing all the way up, hands to the heart. And let's shift the weight towards the left foot. So again, it's not a shifting of the hips, which can be easier to balance, but it's not strengthening our glutes. You really want to lift up through that standing leg. Spread the left foot on the ground and then lift the right knee. Hands to the heart to start with. This side might be wobblier than the other. And then you can tilt forwards as best you can. Extend your right leg back behind you. Another one of those. Inhaling to lift the knee. Perhaps you lift your hands this time. Exhaling, coming forwards. Maybe it's hands down beside the body. One more from here. Inhaling, extending your leg out in front, hands to the sky. And then perhaps the hands stay out in front as you extend the leg back behind you. Breathe in here. And then step back, find high lunge. Sweeping the hands up if you can. And then opening out to warrior two. So just finding that left knee stacked over the left ankle this time. Hips nicely squared and the shoulders over your hips. Let's take left palm to the sky, reverse warrior. Come back through your warrior two to prepare for your triangle or Trikonasana. So you can take your block to a place where it's going to be supportive for you, straightening your left leg as much as you can, and then tilting from the hips as you come down. Take your hand to your block, maybe the block's behind your foot, and you might extend your right hand up towards the sky, really anchor down through those feet. So as you press down through the feet, you can find more length and lift through the torso. And send energy through that top hand. And you're kind of spinning your left hip underneath you. So really still strengthening through that glute. One more breath here. And then let's look down towards the ground. You can release your right hand to your hip. Bend your front knee and just walk that block forwards. Starting to take the weight into the left foot, spreading that foot on the floor and lifting your right leg up and extending that foot back behind you, that heel behind you. And breathing here, perhaps releasing right hand towards the sky again. If you can play with your balance here, you might really draw up through the core, through the pelvic floor, lift your left hand off your block and take it to the heart. One side might be a lot easier to do than the other here. Take a breath. And slowly step back, find your warrior two. Left palm to the sky, sweep back. And then both hands down to the ground, just from the inside of your left foot, so finding that lizard. Just going to swap sides again. And you can drop down to your right knee if you like, extend your left knee out to the side. Big breath in and out. And let's step back to find your knees. Lower yourself all the way down onto your belly here. It's going to come into a sphinx, so you can almost let the legs be a little heavier here as you slide your hands forwards and come onto your forearms. Really lifting the chest, drawing the heart forwards, letting the pubic bone really be heavy on the ground, the feet be heavy. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths here. Or perhaps taking the hands out to the sides and pressing up towards seal, as long as that doesn't cause pain, particularly in your lower back. If it does, you can kind of extend your tailbone and engage a little more through the glutes. Breathe it in. Breathing out, lowering yourself all the way down. And then nice and slowly, hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up and back and find your way into child. You might kind of slink your way back there slowly after being in seal. 2 breaths here in child. And then coming up to find your all fours, pressing back down dog. Let's step the feet to the front of the mat. Find halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sink your hips deep, sweep your hands up, Utkatasana. Standing all the way up, hands to the heart. Make our way into Vikshasana tree from here. So just feel your feet, feel both feet on the ground. And just sort of similar to what we did at the start to shift your weight towards your right foot. And as you do that, you can start to float the left foot off the ground. And you might just tuck it towards the ankle or the calf, taking the knee out to the side. You might need to use your hand to help if you want to lift the foot above the knee and bring it to the inner thigh. And then as you find that shape, pressing the foot and the inner thigh towards each other. And if you've got your balance there, you can bring your hands to your heart, or you might take your hands up as high as you like, perhaps bringing the thumb and the first finger together, mudra, Gyan Mudra, actually a pretty grounding kind of feeling of bringing that seal to the hands. And as you find tree, there's this real feeling of the arms being like the branches lifting to the sky, but that image of the tree where there is so much more under the surface. So just imagining those roots drawing down into the earth. 2 more breaths here if you can. And then gently releasing your hands back down again. Take your left knee forwards and then just bring that foot down to the ground and shake your legs out a little bit if you need to. Shake your hips out, shake your shoulders out. Find mountain, both feet on the earth. And let's from here shift the weight to your left foot, floating the right knee up. Finding your version of tree on this side. Find your balance. Make sure that you're not letting that left hip splay out to the side. Perhaps you find those tree branches, that mudra with the fingers together, sealing. And there's a pressure as well of the foot into the inner thigh and the inner thigh into the foot that also creates a little seal. And you feel your foot spreading on the ground. We don't want to be gripping the ground with the toes. It's just a gentle kind of cupping and pressing down. Pada bandha, a foot bind, or foot lock. Bring your hands down. You can take your knee forwards, take both feet down to the earth, just let both feet be there on the ground, maybe just shaking the hips out a little bit as you need to. Taking your hands to your hips, take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, you can start to soften the knees, roll down, and bring your hands down. So either take them onto a block, if you feel comfortable to. The feet are about hips distance apart. We're just taking the index fingers and wrapping them around the big toe. So the palms face towards each other, the fingers go between the big toe and the second toe. And then wrapping your thumbs around so that you create like a little grip around your big toe. And press the big toe down. Inhale, lift your chest. Knees as bent as they need to be. Finding that length and lift along the spine. And then as you exhale, bending the elbows, forward folding, letting your head relax. You can do that again if you like, really pressing the big toes down into the ground and pulling back gently as you lift your chest. And then exhaling, knees soft, elbows bend, let the head relax, forward fold. And allow your shoulders to soften. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here. Releasing your toes, bring your hands to the ground, just lift your chest a little way, and then step your feet back. Bring yourself onto your knees and just slowly walk your hands back towards you to come to sit back onto your heels. And you can have your toes tucked here if you like. So that's the invitation to stretch out through your feet. We've been doing a lot of work with our feet and balancing today, so it's nice to give them a stretch. It might not feel that nice. If it really is painful, come and sit down either on a block or just sitting back onto your heels how you like to. And from here, we'll just do a stretch through the shoulders as well. We'll do some eagle, so reaching the hands up. You can take your right arm underneath your left arm, wrapping the forearms if you can, or wrapping the hands around you. Maybe it's palms of the hands together and thumbs towards the face. Lift your elbows, breathe in and out. A couple more full breaths here. Release your hands. Stretch the hands up towards the sky. If you can, stay on the toes. Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Finding that stretch through the space between the shoulder blades. Keeping your tailbone nice and heavy towards the ground. Keep breathing. And then you can release your hands and just take the hands out in front of you. Shift your weight forwards, untuck the toes, little tap of your feet on the ground behind you, just bringing that blood flow back in. Just sit back onto the heels again, and we're going to do a little forward fold. So if seated forward folds don't feel good for you, just make sure you're using props and supporting as you need to. We're going to take the right leg out in front, but stay with the left knee bent, and grab your block, or it can be a rolled up towel or something that you can sit on, so that your right sit bone is in line with your left sit bone. So just propping something underneath that right sit bone. If you've got super flexible hips and knees, you could find that you can sit flat onto the floor and the left foot comes sort of to the outside of your left hip, if that feels okay. I prefer to have something underneath just supporting. Just feels nicer, feels more stable and more even, so you can play around with that. And if if knee inflection is not good for you, you can take maybe Janushasana instead, with the left foot coming to the inside of the right thigh, and you might prop underneath that left knee and come forwards in this version. We're going to explore this kneeling seated forward fold today. So you can take the hands up, reach up, and then from there start to walk the hands forwards. You might be able to reach your foot. If you can't, just hands on the ground. Folding over that outstretched leg. And then walking your hands back up towards you. And use your hand to kind of bend your right knee and take that foot flat to the floor. And then we're going to hold on to the foot and take the foot out in front. So you can, if you can't hold on to the foot, hold on to wherever you can on your leg, but you don't have to straighten the leg, it can be bent. You want to lift up through the chest and kind of press the heel away from you. So if you can straighten the leg, you can draw that leg towards you, as if you were bringing the leg towards you rather than you going towards the leg. Couple of breaths here. And then bending that knee, take the foot all the way flat to the floor again. Just press into that foot to bring you off your block, and then swap over to the other side. So bending the right knee and taking your left leg out in front of you. This side might feel different to the other side. If it doesn't feel good in this knee, then just taking your variation as you need to. Hands reach up. And then forward folding over the left leg. Use your breath to help to soften into the shape. And then walking your hands back towards you, bring your left foot flat to the floor and holding on to that left foot, seeing if you can extend that leg out in front of you. So it might be the bent knee, or you can kind of press that heel away from you, draw the leg towards you. Sitting up nice and tall, the core's engaged to support you. Another breath. And as you exhale, bending the knee, taking the foot to the floor. We'll just come off the block again, take both legs out in front of you now, stretch both legs out. And you might sit back up onto your, actually we're going to take boat first, so leave the block and bring the sit bones to the floor. And we're going to come into Navasana. So feet flat to the ground and then hands coming underneath your thighs, and really just focus first of all on tilting yourself towards the front of your sit bones, and hopefully you find that helps this lower belly to engage. And then you might lift up onto your toes, you might lift your feet off the ground, spreading them, shins parallel to the ground. And if you can balance here and still breathe, take your hands out in front of you. Maybe gluing the mounds of your big toes together if you can, perhaps straightening out your legs. Staying here for maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. Supporting where you need to. 1 more. And then bending the knees, and just come forwards. It's almost like a little egg shape. Just coming towards the front of your sit bones and rolling forwards over your legs. Nice, just relaxed forward fold. And rolling yourself up. You can take your legs all the way out in front of you. Perhaps you need to sit onto a block. Paschimottanasana here. Sitting towards the front of your sit bones, making sure there's length through the lower back. Supporting yourself with your core. Stretching the hands up, reach out. And then tilting forwards and taking the hands either to the ground or to your feet as you fold down. And again, you really want to press the heels away from you, spreading the feet as though you were standing on a wall in front of you. And you can kind of draw your chest forwards from there, lengthening the spine, and then folding down, keeping that length along the spine. One more big breath in and out. And then slowly walking the hands all the way towards you. And coming off your block, if you're sitting onto a block. Last little shape here, if you like. So you can either come into boat again, Navasana, any variation. If you feel like you can hook your big toes with your fingers, draw the inner thighs towards each other. See if you can start to balance on your sit bones and then take the legs out in front of you like that. Maybe extend the legs and draw the legs towards you. And it's a little balancing act. So lifting up through the top of your chest, drawing the legs towards you. Make sure you're not doing this if there's anything going on in your lower back, sensitivities in your lower back. 1 or 2 more breaths. Drawing the chest towards the thighs. Breathing in. And then breathing out, releasing, taking your feet down. You might just rest your hands back behind you, and resting back onto the hands, pressing the shoulder blades into the back of the heart, lift the chest. Perhaps looking up a little bit, and if you feel to, you can press into your hands and your feet, squeeze the buttocks, lift your hips up, come up into a reverse tabletop, the head in line with the spine. A couple of breaths here. Slowly lowering your hips back down again and extending the legs out in front. Just give your wrists a little roll if you came up into tabletop. And then from here, you're going to lower down all the way to our back. So you can use your hands to support you or lower the spine down using your core. And then letting the head come down last. Bend your knees up and just allow the sacrum to relax onto the ground. Nice long breath in and breath out. And you can take your right ankle onto your left thigh here. Come into an eye of the needle shape, flexing that right foot. Perhaps bringing the left leg towards you as you stretch out through glutes and those deep hip stabilizing muscles. Nasal breaths as best you can. And then we'll make our way into a twist. So let go of your left leg and you can cross your right leg even more over the top if you like. If that doesn't feel good, just bring the knees together and then drop your knees over to the right side. The left arm can extend out to the side, perhaps, the right arm extending out to the side and maybe looking over that shoulder, left hand perhaps just resting onto your right thigh to encourage that knee towards the ground a little more. If there's any pain or instability in your lower back, bringing the knees together is probably going to be a bit more supportive. And then bring your knees all the way back to center, just unraveling your legs and drawing knees to chest again. And then take feet flat to the floor. We'll cross the left ankle onto the right thigh, taking your little glute stretch from here. So you might take your hands around the thigh or around the shin as you draw that right leg towards you. And then you can release your right leg, cross the left leg all the way over the top, or just knees together, drawing your knees across your body, left arm out to the side. And that right hand is gently encouraging the right knee towards the ground in the opposite direction to the left shoulder. So really a lengthening along that fascial line on the back body. Slowly drawing your knees back to center. You can unravel your legs and hug your knees towards you, just making sure the hips are nice and centered. And from there, you might like to just take the feet to the floor, feet together, allow your knees to drop wide. Or if that's too much in your hips, just the opposite way, internal rotation, feet wide, knees together can be nicer. You might let your hands rest on your body. I'm going to guide you just for a couple of minutes through some box breath, version of Samavriti. So the guidance will be to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. If you find that that's not great for you, you can find your own rhythm or just let it go. And we'll just do a few rounds together and bringing some balance to the nervous system. So emptying out the breath first, inhale all the way. And as you exhale, you can let the breath out as a sigh. And then inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. And letting that go. Just letting your breath settle into its own natural rhythm now. You can let go of any control of it. And you can start to extend your legs, if you like, out into Shavasana. So letting the legs go long, allowing your body to settle now onto the ground. If you have any blankets or bolsters or pillows that you want to prop under you or over you, you're welcome to do that now and find a comfortable position. We'll just be here for a few minutes, just letting the body really settle on the ground, and perhaps using your breath, feeling the next exhalation as you let any tension release as best you can from your legs, your belly, your back. Relaxing your throat and your jaw. Perhaps just letting the teeth be slightly apart, the tongue resting at the roof of the mouth just behind the front teeth. a heaviness to the back of your head and the eyes. Letting your body be completely supported here. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Letting the sound of the bells, the bowls, bring a little wakefulness back into your body. You might wiggle your fingers and your toes first, perhaps taking a deeper breath. You might like to take your hands over your head, have a stretch. Bending your knees as you're ready to, and rolling yourself to one side and resting there for a moment. Make sure you use your hands to support you, bring yourself back up into your seated position. The eyes can stay closed if you can, just keeping that awareness drawn into your internal space. Feeling the base of your body on the ground again and lifting the spine out of there. And gathering the hands together at the center of your chest. And becoming aware of how you feel, reflecting on your intention. And gathering up any wisdom or insight that you might have gained in this practice to take off your mat with you. Perhaps to offer up to someone that might need some kindness and positivity today. And let's close together, if you like, with the sound Om, and you're welcome to join in or just listen. Nice long breath in to start. Drawing your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows, that connection with your deepest wisdom. Drawing your thumbs down to the space at the center of your chest, your connection with all those around you. Bowing forwards to honor your connection with the earth. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I hope you're feeling more grounded and able to take that with you off your mat today. Let me know if you have any questions about this practice or any comments at all. Drop into the Facebook group if you can and share how this was for you, and you can ask any questions there too. So yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and catch you soon. Bye.